Hello and welcome to another video. Today we're going to be going over some new news, patch update kind of information about what's coming to a game that I'm very interested in, Dead Frontier 2. It's a zombie survival RPG developed by Creaky Corps. Originally, Dead Frontier was made mostly for browser games, and then kind of recently, the developer, Neil Admin Poon, decided to bring a version of it to Steam in the form of Dead Frontier 2. And this is going to be going over more or less his information updates to the community about new open world content, as well as detailing out some kind of new infected zombie types to look forward to. So without further ado, let's jump right in. Open world and new infected coming soon. This is a follow-up to my two previous posts on Dead Frontiers 2 planned updates. Links found here, and I will link this in the description as well. Open world. I'm happy to report that the open world system for Dead Frontier 2 is nearing completion and should be ready by the end of the month. For those of you who have not heard about it before, the open world will replace the current towns, allowing you to seamlessly explore a large outdoor game world with no loading screens. There will be a lot more variety than we already have, and new area types such as fields, woods, graveyards, and parks. So what Dead Frontier 2 has currently is sort of like different little locations that are kind of instance based. So you fast travel from location to location. The difficulty changes with each location. There's like sort of like level, what to expect difficulty wise level. So like one area, the beginning area would be like levels 1 through 5. End area is going to be like 25 to 30, etc. But they're like these small little locations that have buildings inside. You can go through the buildings. Everything's cool like that. What this is going to do is going to take those locations and further expand upon it. And then, as he mentioned, seamlessly allow you, the survivor, either alone or with friends, cooperatively go through, explore, find new locations, survive against zombies. And I think what he's going to do with it is similar to what he had with the current Dead Frontier on the browser, where from one end of the map to the other, it scales with difficulty. So the further one direction you go, the more difficult the enemies, the more variety of what to expect, and, you know, better the loot, better the gear that you're going to find as you're scavenging the post-apocalyptic world. The system I've created is quite flexible and should allow me to add even more area types over the next few years or next year. For those of you wondering, cars will still remain part of the game and will be used to fast travel between outposts, which is awesome because, as mentioned in the previous notation, I guess, is in the Dead Frontier that we know of on the browser. I guess we'll call that Dead Frontier 1 for now. Each outpost you have to travel to individually. You can't necessarily use a vehicle to transport or fast travel to them as you can with this one. So that'll be kind of a nice quality of life feature upgrade, in my opinion, to Dead Frontier 1. Because, you know, I mean, especially for the lower levels, and if you're inexperienced, going from one outpost to the other can seem like a daunting trek or a journey that you're not really looking forward to doing. Obviously, as a more experienced player, someone who's higher level, better gear, knows what to expect, it's not really that bad. It's more of an inconvenience, if anything, going from location to location. And then each outpost has their own, at least in Dead Frontier 1, each outpost has their own market, I believe. I'm not sure if he changed that at all, but I believe in Dead Frontier 2, all outposts, their marketplace is connected. So you're going to get the same deals. You're going to be able to sell to the same people no matter where you're at, which is kind of cool. Since this will be a big change in Dead Frontier 2, the final switchover will happen in stages to minimize the impact of any bugs on existing characters. To start with, and this will be a point of contention for a lot of people, I think, only new characters will have the option of being created in the open world when it's released. And old characters will still be able to play in the normal areas of not the open world, but then there will be Neil Admin will spend some time responding to player feedback, fixing bugs within the system, etc. And then once everything is worked out, then he will move the existing characters before the open world update to the open world. And I can understand if this is going to be like kind of a point of issue for some players. All I can say is just keep it in mind, be patient, work with Neil, don't work against him. Not to jump on his jock too hard, but he's doing a lot by himself to make this game possible. In my opinion, this is probably one of the best, most promising zombie survival games on the Steam market, in my opinion. There's a lot that are good and more polished, but have bigger teams developing them. Neil is working with himself and a few others loosely, in my opinion, to make this game possible. And I think as me and a couple others, well, maybe many others, feel within the community, this game has a lot of potential to be a really awesome game. We just need to be patient and go with it and provide feedback and obviously constructive criticism where necessary, but not to just lose your marbles over it. And, making another character, that's fine. You get to explore the world, know what to expect, get a feel for it. And then when you can bring your main character over, you have a pretty good head start and know what to expect and can just pick up where you left off. And you can use the alt still. I mean, there's nothing wrong with using alt characters. So that's one thing to keep in consideration. Level 30 to 50 infected. While I've been busy with the open world, our character artist, Dobrin, has been hard at work and has brought some of Millen's, our concept artist, twisted ideas into reality. Here are just a few of the creations. So there's two categories. You have the infected, which are like normal run-of-the-mill zombies walking around. There's some skinny ones, there's some fat ones, whatever. And then you have the mutated ones, which are kind of considered the bosses. They can be the normal-looking zombies with radiation, burn. Maybe they inflict more debuffs like bleeding or whatever, lacerations. And then you have the more mutated, literally mutated ones like Choir, Fingers, the big brute one, Tendril, etc. So it's cool to see some of these because these look like they're going to fit in the mutated category and hopefully are going to be really fun to encounter. I like this one. He looks kind of terrifying. So, and we see, if we scroll down a little bit, we'll come back to these ones, but we have this guy who's like the scorched version, and then we have the radiated version. So I think that's going to be cool. We're going to see a little variety in like the types and what they do. It's still going to be interesting to see what they do though. Because, with Choir, his whole thing is he screams really loud and creates like an AoE sound damage barrier. Fingers, if you look at them in the eye or you see their eyes, it inflicts damage to you. Things like that. So what are these guys' perks going to be? This guy looks kind of cool. Looks like he has like weird vines. Maybe he's more of like an amphibious, waterlogged kind of mutated thing. So maybe he like moves in the water quicker than he does on land or whatever. We got sword hands. It's going to hurt. Don't get hit by him. This one's pretty grotesque. I love it, though. You can see the arm and the head's kind of protruding. Maybe it's like something that he ate before and his weird mouth face at the hand. I love it. I love it so much. Maybe he was a nerd. I don't know. Like a little scrawny, like chess nerd. Who knows? And then we have She Who Licks a Lot. Maybe this is the start, because I know in Dead Frontier 1 we have the Leaper who will one-shot you, and he's got this giant, like, nasty tongue. Maybe this is going to be the thing that this one does. Who knows? Any words in between? Nope. So once the open world update is finished, I plan on implementing these new creatures along with adding new weapons, armor, clothing, and skills ready for the level 30 to 50 game. Rather than save all of these for one large update, he'll trickle them out in smaller batches so that there's so we can look forward to every couple of weeks, maybe bi-weekly, there's going to be an update, a change, something added, patch notes, which is awesome. That's always awesome. Thanks for reading. Let's take a look at the discussion. See how wholesome it is. Pog. Great stuff, admin. Looking forward to it. A bit of a shame we have to create new characters. Will the weapons update be available when the open world update opens? Excellent work. Clan and guild system. That'd be kind of cool in the future. Keep up the amazing work. Excited. Only new characters. So again, the point of contention a lot of people are going to be upset about probably is not being able to use their main character immediately, but that'll happen with time. So I don't think it's that big of a concern. What's next? Love how people still talk shit about everything when the devs are doing their best. Exactly. I mean, it is what it is. People are going to have their expectations. Some people, you're just going to be impossible to please. But, as long as he's doing what he needs to do on his end to make sure that this comes to fruition, I'm all for it. I support it 100%. So yeah, I think I'm super pumped. I'm super excited. I wonder if there will be an NPC bandit in the open world. If not, maybe in the future it would make the assassin skill much more useful outside of PvP, plus more risk than just zombies. Remember, the undead is not the only enemy we have to worry about. Okay, I kind of like that idea. That'd be kind of interesting. Kind of like something we see with another zombie survival game like 7 Days to Die, where you have like, I think they're trying to introduce bandits and sort of like these raiders and other human NPCs out in the world, along with all the other zombie undead monsters you have to face on the daily basis. But that is kind of that. My thoughts. Again, I'm pumped for the open world. I think it's going to be a huge game changer for the game in general. I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled to be able to explore more of what's out there. Again, I really believe that this game has a lot of potential to be very successful. Right now, I think it's on the front page or first page of survival horror games on Steam. So that's a huge feat in and of itself. This game deserves all the love in the world and a lot of traction. I know right now, also kind of talking in the Discord community, that there is a lot of concern about some cheesy builds, because again, this is an RPG where you level up, you have skills and traits and armor that gives bonuses to those skills, and some of them are kind of broken right now. And I think for the most part, that's fine. It will be addressed. I don't think admin, when he came up with these things, he never came up with hard caps for ability cooldowns, percentiles, everything else like that. Yes, sweet child of mine.
I'm really hungry.
Okay. Well, it's lunchtime. I'm going to wrap this up. Thank you so much for watching. What are your thoughts about these changes for those of you who play the game? If you don't play the game, it's free on Steam. Give it a shot. Put a couple hours in. Try it out. Please try it out. This game, I'm pumped. I'm excited. I'm hyped. I'm trying to set myself up for like high expectations and be let down. It's really kind of hard for me to be let down anyways, because I'm just such a huge fan of the game. But we'll see how it goes. Again, thank you so much for your time and watching. And for those who are interested, this is a new mic that I'm working with. It's a Samsung Q2U USB XLR dynamic microphone. If you like the way it sounds, I'll put a link in the description. You can get it on Amazon for about $50. And let me say, this is a good investment for a good solid mic. Say goodbye, buddy.
Goodbye.
Thank you again for watching. We'll see you next time.
We'll see you next time.